Hi, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back to the Christmas in July series that I'm doing here on my channel. We're going to be altering a mini composition notebook. These came from Walmart. They used to be, if I'm not mistaken, 88 cents, and now they're $1.12. So I personally bought them one time because I had got so excited about doing something with them that I wasn't paying attention. I went back and I was like, wait a minute, weren't these things 88 cents back when I didn't know any better about crafting? So, yeah. Anyway, I've altered a few composition notebooks in my day, small and large, and I have been watching, not recently, but um, while when I'm making this video yesterday, I watched Jessica Marvel. She was in a collaboration. First of all, if you don't know who Jessica Marvel is, come on now. I will put her information in the description box, and you go and check her out. She makes a lot of 3D projects, and I don't mean on purpose. She's always like, I can't make things small. A lot of her projects are just they come out chunky and super cute. She joined in a collaboration that I hosted the year before last, either last year. It was the Fun in the Sun collaboration, I believe that's what it was. And then she hosted one, a Halloween one, and I missed two of those days. One was February last year, and then the December one. It slipped my mind, and by the time it was time to post it, it was too late because the time frame was 6 a.m. my time, I think. So anyway, yeah, I missed two. But anyway, you can go back and see. She's a wonderful creator. She's amazing. But anyway, I watched her do a A2 book. The thing was so pretty, so pretty, and that's in my head, like, oh. And then my friend Chris was like, I watched a video of you doing an altered notebook, and you can hear the Little Mermaid in the background. So anyway, we're gonna be using this one. I think this is a good color. It doesn't matter the color, we're gonna cover it up anyway. And then you're gonna see this probably in the next couple of videos for this collaboration because I want to do some other things. And I thought, oh, I could use this for my 3 on the third or 10 on the 10th. But we'll get there. We'll get there. That'll be in August. So anyway, it's called Peppermint Stripe, and we love a good peppermint stripe, right? And this is how it looks in case you haven't seen it. And if you're not familiar with an altered anything composition notebook in particular, what you do is you take the front, you cover it, the front and back, and then you could do some stuff to the pages. You could tear a few pages out and put your own pages in, or you could take little pockets and put stuff in. I tend to stamp a few pages from or put things on there. I don't know what we're gonna do today. I haven't inspiration really hasn't struck besides, oh, we're gonna alter notebook. I do have some stickers, so we'll probably put some stickers on there as well. Now this paper pad is falling apart, and I don't know if I support that or not. So I think the poinsettias is speaking to me more so than the bells. So we'll see the bells in another project. I want to try to use all this paper up though. Not in this project, but in general. So we got this one because these would be some good flags. I do recommend you get all your stuff available that you're going to use for this. And this is going to be a simple project, so it's not going to be anything stressful. So it says the paper is 3.5, excuse me, 3.25 by 4.5. So you know that if you're altering a notebook, you don't need all of that. You just need from here to here and a little bit over, so you don't have to have it hang off that much. So we're going to go ahead and measure it out. So roughly it is 2.5 inches by 4.5, right? So we're gonna make this 2.5. We're gonna cut our paper by 2.5 and 4.5. So we should have enough to make something else with these. And I'm gonna do these 2 pages. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut those down. All right. So I have pulled out a few things. The dollies. This is our cover, and then I have some stickers. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and determined that I think I want to ink this up red, candied apple. And what I'm inking up is the edges. Not that it's super needed, but I want to ink this up really quickly just so we could start altering it, and then we'll go from there, right? Good pouncing as if I was a cat trying to get on a red dot. My cat, y'all know him, Nicholas. He a little bit overweight, you know what I'm saying? A little bit like his owner. Anyway, uh, when he when we first moved back from Mississippi, I took him to the doctor and we saw his old doctor, his original doctor, and he was getting ready to retire. He was already like very mature, but I think he had cancer or something because you could see his hands were shaking really, really badly. And I was like, "Are you okay?" Because he asked me how I was doing, but sometimes it's nice to ask people how they are doing. I was like, "Are you okay?" Like genuinely concerned. So it's him, myself. I think I had the little roommate with me or whatever. Maybe not. I can't remember now, but yeah. And so you see how it looks intentional, like they did this on purpose. Let's go ahead and do a little bit more on his white. And so, you know, he told me how, he said, "I'm doing okay. Thank you for asking," blah, blah, blah. But we got the notification a couple of months later that he was retiring. And plus, I'm at this point now because I'm not at official retirement age, but I read this article about child rearing, and they said kids only get to be a kid for 18 years, right? So you think about it, the first 4 years, they're enjoying themselves, but they're not really kidding, right? They're not kidding because they don't know how to do a lot of stuff on their own, right? And then we tend to put them in, put them at work to work, right? They go to work, they go to school, they start learning, they start doing all kinds of stuff. Somebody cut this crooked. It was me, the somebody. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you that right now, but I don't know how I cut it crooked. Anyway, so now I'm going to take a little bit of glue. Normally, I probably would put some tape on here, but I'm going to glue it. And normally, I would glue this page, but I'm not. I'm going to glue it right onto this. And the reason why I want to put on this surface is because the surface is a slicker surface. So if you want to make it not so slick, you can take something to sand it down with and sand it so it's not so smooth. It's a little bit more grip. It can be gripped a little bit. And I told myself cut a little bit more than 4.5 because I wanted it to go over this thing, and I didn't do that. So that's why I'm kind of like, really. So anyway, the next time I took him, I had researched about how to help him lose weight. Nicholas the cat, right? Uh, our new doctor, I can't remember her name, but she was like, you could. So I had, I'll tell you, I'm gonna tell you. I had researched about things to help them exercise. They had this big wheel. My cat is food driven, so anything I can give him that will make him get up and do something. He's food driven more so than anything else, right? So I could definitely give him a challenge with food. But I have a little ball that I put back in the day. I used to put treats in, and he would eat it up. He just beat the ball, figure out how to get it. He's not a dumb cat by any means, and none. I don't think many pets are like the cat pets. I think that they choose to be dove pets because they like this dang human. I really don't. I can't believe that they were able to domesticate us. Look at them. Speaking of how they are, we're gonna do the back real quick. Anyway, so in my quest to find it, they had this big wheel. It's too expensive. I couldn't afford it. I can't afford it. It's a huge wheel, and it's like humongous. I already bought him an expensive cat tree that my son has now destroyed, but when it was just Nicholas and I, he used to go and play on it. And he's fat now, so you could hear him jumping on it. Do do. And I put it together pretty good. I think my stepdad helped me do that. So yeah, when he lived here. Anyway, I chose to put the poinsettias on because I like poinsettias. Don't ask me to grow them for you because they will not survive in this house because yeah, they're not gonna survive. Anyway, so now I do not have. what I need to have, which is my little corner rounder. Because I would have told you to round the corners ahead of time. So what we're gonna do is open this page up, burnish this down really well. So when I went back to the doctor, she was like, "Yeah, he's overweight." Nicholas has always been like a kind of little thick kitty cat. Even when I got him, he was supposed to be quote unquote 3 months, and he looked like he was getting ready to be a teenager. You know what I'm saying? Like some kids are just bigger than other kids, genetics or whatever, and that's how Nicholas was, right? So he wasn't a kitten very long, and I still love him no matter what, right? I still care about him. I'm still gonna treat him to the life that I said I would when I adopted him. The best that I can give him, right? That's why he's overweight because I used to like, keep his food dish completely full. Not the smartest thing to do. I had another cat, and that cat was an Indo. I had a few cats. I maybe had 3 cats in my life, including Nicholas. Let's see. I had an all black cat. His name was Zigzag. He was such a sweet little kitten, and he was petite. I'm trying to think of the other cat I had. I don't think I ever had. Okay, so maybe Nicholas. I'm a dog person. Shh, don't tell him. Don't tell Nicholas, but I would prefer a dog. But dogs are at the time when I needed to get a pet, a companion, it was Nicholas, and I won't replace him with another companion. I don't want to get a new pet if he decides to, you know, depart because he's old. I've had him since 2012, so he's getting up there. But they say cats live 20 years or so, so we're gonna see. He don't have a hard life at all. Trust me, he does not have a hard life. So right here on these corners, I want it to be a little bit more smoother, but we're gonna just take this and grunge the whole thing up, the back our scissors and do that. And then I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna ink up the edges once more. Now that we've decided to attempt to do some distressing. Anyway, so I go back to the doctor. I bet y'all like, "Huh, can you finish the story?" I'm finishing it, I promise. I go back to the doctor when it's time, like the next year or so, to get his shots, his annual shots. Rabies and temperament, I think. Is what he gets. I have the new doctor, and yeah, this was 2019. So she tells me, your cat's overweight, blah, blah, blah. I was like, yeah, I know we've been working on this problem for years now. And I was like, does he have to eat this medicated food for the rest of his life? I've asked every doctor I've ever taken him to, and they were like, yeah. She was like, yeah, he does. I was like, okay, because I really didn't want him to have to keep eating that food. Because between me and you, I want to change his doctor. I don't like her. I didn't like how she talked to me. Um, but anyway, that's a different story for a different day. So, ink, 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 ink. She says, well, you could play with him more. I was like, we do play with him. My son drives him crazy, right? Because that's when my son was like 3 or 4 at the time. And she said, you can always get the laser dye. I said, well, I read that laser dyes are not good for pets. It's just gonna, this is not smooth. It's a little bit rough, which is how I wanted it, but it is still red. Okay, so I don't know where we were. I had to take a phone call, but here we are. We're back here. Got open. We're going to put this peppermint wishes here, just like that. And I'm gonna try something. I don't know if it's gonna work. We might end up cutting it. See how they had this little divot right here from that paper? There we go. There we go. Now we got little divots. And maybe this is somebody biting on the candy canes, right? Because it says peppermint wishes. We're gonna put this here because you can write your information here. And let's take a little bit of glue, a little dab. Well, do you? I remember when I was in high school in my art class, the art teacher would always be like, a little dab of do you? She said, "Y'all know the Flintstones?" And of course, we all knew the Flintstones back then. Some people probably not know the Flintstones now, but when I was in school, everybody knew the Flintstones. I didn't really like the Flintstones. Freaking Fred was always in trouble. Always in trouble. I said this on one of my live streams too, and I didn't like George either. Fred and George was not my favorite characters. They have Fred and George still with Homer Simpson, Peter Griffin, Stan from American Dad. I like American Dad though; it's so funny. He's so dumb, right? Like you work for the CIA and you got an alien living in your house. I love that. He's like, I'm gonna stick it to the man, basically. All right, so we're gonna take this and we're gonna put this right here. And what are we gonna do? We're gonna do some faux stenciling. It's okay that we're going over the edge. Don't worry about it. Do I have a plan to fix it? No. I'm okay with it just being over the edge. Not okay with this sliding around like that though. I kind of had a plan to fix it, but yeah. There we go. So we got this little page. I'm gonna take this. See, we're trying to keep it semi-poinsettia themed, and I'm just going to. There we go. Ink up this edge. Now with an altered composition notebook, I don't really know what you do with them. I've made a few, but I have never used one. I guess if you want to keep little notes, you can write stuff, inspiration to yourself. You could do that. Okay. So I'm gonna put this right here, and I'm gonna use a bead of glue. Normally, I would tell you, like I said, to glue it on the thing you're gluing down, not on to the actual paper or whatever you're gluing it on. But I need to keep that because I want to cut this edge off a little bit right here. So I want the glue on the paper already. So you see, gonna rub this in like that. Okay, so you got one. Then we're gonna put the other one back here. We're gonna do the same thing. It's not in the center. Kind of like a wash and rinse repeat situation. Squeezing it in. Remember those commercials that short? No, plug it in, plug it in. So I think it was a plug-in commercial, right? Then I'm just gonna ink up the edge again where we put the papers. And now gonna ink up this side. I tend to treat one side and then I go back and treat the other side, just so y'all know. Have you ever altered a notebook? If so, what did you do with it? Did you give it away to someone or did you alter it for yourself? You all know that I have a fondness for paper and books and stuff like this. See? So now we're going to do the edge a little bit. And there you go. I did pull out a stamp set. I was considering getting rid of this stamp set, but I was like, you know what? You have greeting issues, sentiment issues. You need to keep this one. So I think we're going to use Joy. I'm very fond of Joy in Christmas sentiments, more so than. Um, I was just smelling the stamp. Probably should stop sniffing them because the packages are hard to open. I was like, I know Michaels didn't switch to photopolymer, and it's definitely not a photopolymer. It doesn't smell like one. If it is, they have good. Whoever did their thing afterwards, let it ferment a while. We're gonna use this hybrid ink. Now I could use red, but no, we not gonna. I mean, we've already went far enough with the red, right? Oh, it stamps out nice. Yes, very, very nice. I like that. All right, so we're just gonna do a few pages, two, not two, a few random pages. Does it need to be perfect? That's up to you. You have to fix that. Glue is not sticky enough. It's not sticking enough, so I need to fix the edges real quick. So we got, I think we did Joy 3 times. Let's do even, a good round number. Let's do 6. All right. So we did that. Just gonna pull this glue off a little bit right here, and then we're gonna smush it down. Smush it down. All right, and now I have some stickers because what is creating without a sticker? So I got these, and these came from Hobby Lobby. I just took the packaging off, but they were on clearance when I got them because I was like $6 for 90 stickers. Whoo, that's a lot. But I know, if you're in the planner community, that you're like, that's nothing, honey. That's nothing at all. So I'm gonna use this one. It's red. It goes with our theme. It's plain red. Just a little box. And I was gonna put it right here, but I think this peppermint wishes looks better. So we're gonna put this here. Like that. And now I have some other, we can see, It doesn't have the the sticker I'm looking for. It's gonna be again. I told you we're doing poinsettias, right? So these came from Hobby Lobby as well. I got these. I know I picked up probably way more. They were on, they had them 50% off last year at like the beginning of the season. I was like, I'll take as many as I can. I'll know that I'm gonna regret later on. I didn't take as many as I could have because I didn't want to be greedy, but I did get enough to be able to say, yeah, I got those. I'm gonna put nothing on here because that's not what we need to do. We're gonna leave that one kind of blank, kind of blank. I'm gonna put this cardinal right here. I like cardinals, y'all. Um, Stampin' Up has a beautiful cardinal stamp set. I'm not sure if it's retired or not, but if it is retired, you can probably just type in Stampin' Up Cardinal and see what they have. It's really pretty. Someone's probably destashing it or selling it. I'll put this here like that. And let's see. I think I probably have went more than I normally do with these because I tend to try not to over decorate them. I try to let the person or people that receive these kind of things do their own decorating because what's the point? But we're doing a Christmas in July, honey. We're doing that. So yeah, let's go ahead and get another stamp set, another stamp. This one is Holiday Cheer. It's crooked. Let's see. Holiday always looks spelled misspelled to me. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and oh, that's good. That's real good. It didn't stamp out all the way, but it was a good. I feel like that was a good uh, bad stamp, if that makes any sense. Because sometimes you don't want it to be crisp. You just need it to be on there. Now this is where I need to be careful with because that is not acceptable at all. What my eraser? We're gonna have to fix that. I got something. I think. Let's see. The worst thing you can do is give somebody a stamp and say, "Go ahead and go crazy," because that's what we're doing right now. We're just stamping. We're gonna do three more stamps and we're gonna be done. Three more of these holiday. Oh, that wasn't a good one either. That's all right. So there we go with that. We're done with the stamps, and now we're just gonna take a few strips of washi tape. I have this Merry Christmas and this Holly Leaves. We're gonna do the Holly Leaves. I'm just trying to start the tape. Ugh, I hate when I get tape and it has flaws already. Like, let me destroy the tape. I don't want to buy the tape and it's already like broken, messed up. What's the purpose of the? You like? What's the purpose of the wash tape? You know what? It adds decoration. So just putting these down. I think we're done, y'all. Two more spots. And I do want to put a few more stickers, I think. on some random pages. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so we're done with this. I just wanted to put a "tis the season." I want to have some type of something on the front of the cover besides just the altered paper. All right, so here's our completed book. I hope that you all have enjoyed the process. I know I did. Sometimes the process is just as great. The journey is always amazing. And then you get to see your completed project. Now, did I need to cut this out? No, because I did intend to put like little flaps and stuff on. That's why I got the doily. I was gonna put this on the side like this, but I chose not to. We're gonna use this as our little stencil piece for now. So anyway, here we go. Open it up. You can write whatever you want. This is Peppermint Patty's wish book. I don't know. And then so we have some of those. And each page is not decorated, but nonetheless, we have that. Let's see if this erase is going to erase. It's not. That's okay. You know why? We're going to make this happen. I'm going to be happy about this in a few seconds. Let's move this out the way. Bam, bam, bam. Bam, bam, bam. Okay, there we go. That wasn't even needed. I don't, I just decided because it bugged me, right? It was bugging me. There we go. Washing, doily. You can still write on it, no big deal. Just a little bit of decoration, and it's not overly stamped or decorated, and you can do your own decorating to it. But this is our completed creation for today's Christmas in July. So I want to say thank you all for watching. I hope that you did have a great time. And until next time, happy crafting.